So today we are going to discuss how to install a Eclipse and how to do the project in the Eclipse software. Okay, so listen, so you guys are familiar with command prompt, right? So today we are going to install a Eclipse Java download. So it will be much easy as compared to the JDK. So you have to download the file based on your system requirement, that is Windows or Linux, whatever it is, the platform 64-bit or 32-bit. So go to that particular site. Okay, so there you will be having the Eclipse package. Okay, I have installed this, so that is why I'm just canceling now. So you'll be getting a zip file. Okay, after downloading the zip file, just extract it, you will get these files. Okay, so no need to install anything, just open the Eclipse window, then you will be getting a integrated development environment like this. Okay, so if I want to create a new project, what I supposed to do, go to the file, so create a new project, Java project. So it will be asking the project name. Okay, so let me go ahead with example. So I just gave a finish package, and the module name, just give a, okay, let me go ahead with a module name as E. Okay, so because it is asking the whatever mistake we are doing, that it's going to be shown here, warning messages. So package or module, it's going to be start with a thing. Okay, so now I just created a two project. Already I have a created a core project. Now the new project is example. Okay, so inside I just want to create a files. Okay, so like whatever you want a file name. So in case of a command prompt, what we done, program name, file name, both were different, right? But in case of this IDE environment, you are supposed to maintain both are same, because all these are predefined. So you are supposed to find a few things. Okay, so let me go ahead with one package. Okay, so if I want to create a package, let me go ahead with my core Java itself. So here, so I just want to create a package. So new package I just created. Okay, so here I have created a package encapsulation. If I'm giving OK, then you will get a package called data encapsulation. Okay, I have already created. So inside I'm going to create a one new file. So similar to here. So after creating a package, I can create a n Java files. Okay, similar to here, I'm going to create a n Java files. Let me go ahead with one. So this is going to be created class file. Okay, so under a package, so core Java is my project name. Under I have a package called data encapsulation. If I'm changing package name as a capital D, what will happen, it is going to give a warning. Okay, so let me delete this, and I'll be getting a data encapsulation what I have mentioned. Okay, and the class name you'll be having camel case, right? So let me go ahead with the first example number example 1. Okay, so if I started with a small e, what will happen? So this is going to throw a warning message. Java type name usually start with the uppercase. So which means that you will be having a class name should be in a capital. The class name and the program name should be same. That is why I just gave a capital case. Okay. So after that, I just want to click void main. This you can go and print it there, but type it there. But if I'm giving this already, I just want, these are the default setup. So that is why I just gave public static void main. So if I give a finish, then you'll get a Java file. So example.java. So class name is also example. So this is comes under a package data encapsulation. Okay, but inside I just created a main function. I didn't type anything, but I just created. Okay, so I hope you everyone clear how to create a one Java file in Eclipse window, right? Yes, okay. So let me go ahead with the Java OOPS concept. Okay, so today we are going to see, so I'll be writing in the command line. Today we are going to see, today we are going to see a data encapsulation. Under we have a data member and its member function constructor. Okay, it's a constructor is also a member function, right? So and data abstraction inheritance. Today we will club together the polymorphism and the data encapsulation together. We'll see. So because it all are dependent only, but these two topic it will be more similar to see that. Okay, so let me go ahead with the first data member and the encapsulation. Okay, so already we have created one class. Suppose I just want another class. So what I'm doing here, class aspirant. So inside, so let me initialize int roll number and void show off method, non-static method. Okay, inside it, print system.println, system.out.println. Inside, I'm gonna print roll number, right? So as per the definition, this roll number is going to be instance variable, and this will be having scope inside a class. That's it. Okay, inside a method that is also a data member of the class. Okay, so that is aspirant. Outside of the class, if you want to use, you are supposed to be initialize the class name. So that is, you are going to instantiate. Okay, so aspirant a equal to new aspirant of. So I just created a object. If I want to invoke this method, what I supposed to do, I have to go with the object. Okay, so or else what will happen, this is going to throw an error because these two are a independent module. Okay, so if I want to make a connection from one class to the other class, I have to make a instance. Okay, so now let me take the instance a dot, a is the instance of aspirant class, a dot show off. So this is definitely going to print the value. So what would be the value? Roll number, right? So roll number I didn't initialize, so what will happen? It's going to give a value, it's going to give a value 0. Why? We have used a constructor for the object invocation, right? So when we are instantiating object, what you're supposed to do, so you are the function of the constructor is nothing but what, so it is used to initialize the object instance variable. Okay, so that is what we'll be using here. So object instantiation we have done, so you can directly view it. Okay, so instead of creating this, if I want to use a class method without using object, so what you're supposed to do, have to make a this method as a static method. Do you remember this static method? So I have used a static method. So instead of writing this, so I just commented here. So I can directly go ahead with the class name because this method is inside a class, right? Aspirant dot show. Okay, and here, yeah. So if it is a static variable, listen, in the command prompt you didn't get the error when before the get of the execution part, right? But here in the Eclipse window, what will happen, before going to execute the program itself, you will get to know that what kind of error you will be expecting. Okay, so here roll number to a static. So listen, so this is static method. So what I supposed to do, so I have to make insert outside element, so that is also the static, right? So outside of the method you are supposed to be used at a static, then only I can make use of that variable inside a static method. So this is major limitation which we saw in the static keyword, right? Yes or no? So if the method is static, you're supposed to use the outside variable inside it. So as a static variable, not a non-static variable, not allowed inside a block. Okay, if I'm using normal variable here int a, so this will be allowed because this is local instance. So inside here there is no issue. Okay, so here you don't have a problem, but in case of a outside variable you are inside making use of inside a method, you're supposed to use a non-static method. With the help of static and non-static, now there is no issue. If it's a static method, you're supposed to use a static variable inside it. Okay, so that's it. So now let me go ahead with the execution part. I have executed this, so again I'll get a 0. Okay, so let me go ahead with the next concept.